Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today, me and my group member, we present to you about a Parasite movie. First of all, let's talk about the summary first. So Parasite is basically a story about this one family that lives in such a very poor condition, where they have to struggle to do many things to earn money in order for them to support their family, and end up involved in a scheme to deceive this one rich family to support their living. So, how does it begin? It all started when the friend of their son, Min-hyuk, offering Ki-woo to be a private tutor for a daughter of this rich family. Ki-woo was initially not sure whether to accept it or not, but he considered that this was such a very rare opportunity for him to make a living. However, in order to make sure he will be accepted, he needs to fake his academic certificate, and luckily, his sister was very good at editing skills. During the interview, Ki-woo was successfully hired by the wife of this rich family, and the payment that he received was quite lucrative. Things started to become more interesting when the madam looked for another teacher to teach art for her son. When Ki-woo found out about this, he suddenly came across the idea to create another lie by suggesting someone who is professional in art, which turned out to be his own sister. Since the madam is quite gullible, she wasn't aware about this, which made these poor siblings become more and more greedier. Until one day, they start to plot a plan to eliminate every worker such as driver and housekeeper in the house and replace it with their own father and mother. It turns out to be all of their plans successfully work, and they end up living in the house as a family that works, fulfilling all the positions without being noticed by these rich families. And the most worst part is, we can see how they take advantage of this rich family by secretly enjoying all of their luxuries during their holiday trip, which make them parasite of this family.
Speaking of OB issues, there are many to touch in Parasite, but one of which is individuality, personality, and values. Parasite reflects more on dark triad Machiavellianism personality. This can be shown by the extremely poor Kim's family. Their personality is having a strong motivation to gain the benefit at the expense of Park family. Some deception plays out in Kim's family as they wanted to meet the capitalist expectation. For instance, Kim's children fabricate their job credentials in order to be employed as private in Park family and rely on unprotected Wi-Fi network.
얘 과외 선생님 좀 해줘라, 영어.
그게 뭔 소리야?
부잣집 과외야, 돈도 많이 줘.
However, many people will lose to skin in the long run because of their manipulation. This can be seen at the ending of Parasite, whereby Kim is being killed by Park for his dishonesty. Next, value that can be seen in this movie is high individualism. This Park family reflects rampant capitalism which creates extreme disparity to people less fortunate like Kim's. The capitalist cycle brings us back to that moment where Kim realized there is no hope for his family.
절대 실패하지 않는 계획이 만들어내. 무계획이야, 무계획. No plan.
This scene shows that no matter what plan Kim trying to formulate, they always end up in being pieces on someone else's chessboard.
Right, so I will tell you guys how personalities and values affect the stakeholders in the movie Parasite. In terms of employees, people with a higher level of education have a greater probability of finding work than those with a lower level. In this film, Kim Ki-tae said there are 500 college students applying for guard position in South Korea. Therefore, young people like Ki-woo who have not been admitted to college and have no financial ability to improve his additional skills become unemployed is not simply the result of not working hard. Okay, next, in terms of the community, parents' wealth and social class determine their children's future. Due to the high cost of raising and educating children, Ki-woo eventually drops out of the university entrance examination because he cannot afford to pay for a tutoring class for the college entrance exams. Ki-woo's younger sister Ki-jung is unable to finish high school due to the financial constraints. Everyone in South Korea appears to be required to pass the same university entrance exam, but Ki-woo feels the exam may be due to the lack of effort. In reality, the so-called fake college entrance exam is far from it. It is an unfair wealth competition between rich and poor families. The wealth gap is not only a matter of economic power, it also has a direct impact on the future of children born into different homes.
So the issue from the discussion are people with higher education have a high chance of job opportunity, and parents' wealth and social class determine their children's future. So let us discuss the solution of these two issues. Much of the policy debate that has followed has focused on reducing the inequalities in educational attainment based on the reasonable premise that children with the same attainment should achieve more similar outcomes over the life course. There is no question that the workforce of the future will need more education, but some of that education may be more effectively provided in high school, in career and technical education programs customized to provide the skills that employers need. The solution is we must make college affordable, providing low-income students with the knowledge and resources needed to pay for college. College affordability is a complicated and multifaceted challenge. The price students and families are asked to pay has steadily increased over the past several decades, despite the existence of federal, state, and institutional grant programs, which are often not sufficient to fill the gap in need. Just as troubling, most students and families aren't given clear and useful information about what they should expect to pay or how to navigate the system. If we cannot fully fund our public schools, how can we expect things like the achievement gap to close or high school graduation rates to rise? It was understandable that budgets had to be slashed when the bottom dropped out of the economy, but now that we are in a more stable place, it is a time to get back to funding what matters most, the education of our B40 students, so that there will be no more issue in equality of education.
Next, I will talk about the Islamic perspective from this movie. I got two from it. The first one being grateful. According to this movie, the poor family are not being thankful and earn living by doing a wrong way. This is not teachings for Islam. We as a Muslim, we have thankful to Allah for all the blessings that are given by Him, and He is the one of the creator of this world alone, and also is the most merciful for all His mankind. It also mentioned in the Holy of Quran. The second one being respectful. According to this movie, the rich family are not being respectful for those who are below than them, but according to Islam, we have been respected despite of their differences. We are all the same and equal and deserve our respect. So in conclusion, from this movie, it is more obviously about the critical societal issue of class inequalities between rich and poor, and interconnection between money, power and violence in a segregated manner. So Parasite blended each other characters' virtues. That means they have a different character and they have their own flaws. Looks like in our real life, we have a different characters and we have to understand each other, and we cannot overlooking by their faults and flaws.
So I think that's all from us. Thank you.